got some great leaders down there, and that's across all walks. A very, I would call them a younger, energetic team. Now that they've seen the growth and seen what it can do, and they've opened up their eyes, done some bigger work, seen the capabilities that we have, I think the sky's the limit. From a people standpoint, we struggled for a long time, and I heard it when I came into the company. A lot of struggles finding people. The folks that have come on board with us see what we're trying to accomplish, and I think they've really bought into the culture, and we're trying to bring that culture to more people.
I started with Sargent in the Mid-Atlantic in April of 2007. Through the course of my career, I was always mentored by everybody around me. Sometimes I was being mentored by a foreman, sometimes I was being mentored by an operator. I learned a lot of great things from operators out there who recognized that I was a young foreman at the time, not understanding the full scope of my role. So every step of the way, I had somebody that was looking out for me. In 2015, when Doug Morrison got the opportunity to start up the asphalt plant up in New England, I was asked to be regional manager here in the Mid-Atlantic.
Just having a known commodity down there, and Justin had been down there 10 years too, prior. So he had some history down there. He had forged a ton of relationships with different clients already.
And he wants to be in Virginia. And I think that carries over to clients, everybody, that we're not going to abandon the area there. That was always the fear, was that, you know, as soon as things get a little rough, you guys got to come back to me.
The maturation in the Mid-Atlantic has been awesome, but I think it's at a fever pitch right now. Justin's done a good job of not only finding some other types of work and getting some diversification, but also building a few more relationships in the contractor community here, and that was a needed piece.
I think we've been around long enough, so I think we're much better accepted than we were, in the mid-90s. People know we're not going away. They may hope we do, but we're not. And in fact, we're strengthening our ties there.
I served as the regional manager up until 2023, and then I became the vice president of operations here in the Mid-Atlantic. Since then, we've more than doubled in size, and we're really reaching out to do different types of projects here than we normally would in the Mid-Atlantic.
You've heard me say we try to remain generalists in what we do, and in New England we're probably a little more rounded in the generalist side of things, and I think a lot of that comes from a couple things: the longevity of how long we've been in New England, and the skills we've developed over time. Also, having to really weather the economic ups and downs of New England forces you into really being a generalist if you're going to stay alive. Mid-Atlantic, we're going to get there. We're building out some of those things. We've pivoted to different kinds of work, and we're building out our capabilities all the time. So I can see the Mid-Atlantic very much mimicking New England in a lot of ways as time goes on.
Back in 2022, we had an opportunity presented down in Greensboro, North Carolina.
We've been talking about some growth, and Justin Porter was in that mindset. We got asked by an engineer to go down there and bid the job. A little challenging to leave some money on the table on bid day, but we felt good going in, felt good coming out, and went down there and had a good job.
And it was one of the larger jobs that we've done in recent time. It was about a $24 million project at the Greensboro Airport to move about 1.7 million yards of dirt. It was a big deal. It was far from home. We bid on the job, we were a low bidder on the job, and then we were really excited to go down there and move some dirt.
We started to see the opportunity in that area, and just looking at a lot of statistics and things of where the population of this country was starting to migrate to, and where big population centers are going, and North Carolina is a place where a lot of things are happening. There's investment, there's jobs, people are migrating there. So we said, this looks like a great place to be.
We went down to the Greensboro market not knowing what to expect on the hiring front. And when we started advertising, we started to get a lot of good applicants.
We had heard from a lot of people we hired that more people wanted to come on board, but they wanted us to show a commitment we were going to be in the area, and it's taken off from there.
Going into a new region like that, you often wonder, you basically got to take market share, right? So we have to go in there and acquire work, and then to acquire work, you need to acquire people, and we've got a great reputation down there, and I think people have noticed that, and they've came on board, and it's basically an acquisition without purchasing another company.
It was really an opportunity to grow in an organic way in an area where we hadn't been much before. That project opportunity really gave us that impetus to staff an office and get some folks there.
I went down in November and so impressed with just the amount of sheer business down there, the corporations, the large land developments, obviously the tax incentives that North Carolina gives and Virginia gives to these companies to come in. That's huge. You just don't see that up here in New England. I mean, they're so business friendly down there that that's where the work's going to be.
I'm very excited about the growth in Greensboro. For me, it's been fun. It's been fun to see it happen organically the way it's happened, and really looking forward to more of it in the future. But right now we've got a heavy focus on making sure that operation grows healthy, really cements itself and gets itself self-standing and then moving forward. But it was the next logical step, and I think it's a great area to be in.
We've done the right things with bringing Tim Powell into the workforce advancement realm, and I think that opportunity is going to continue to grow. Our relationship with some of the tech schools there, for instance, we donated a Cat D3 dozer, as you know. What we want to do is build the people, and not just construction workers. We want to build people, and I think exposing people to the way we want them to live and the kind of lives we want them to have, which is really their dream life. I just see that expanding more. I think when people see the opportunity within Sargent from outside, I think they're going to seek that opportunity. And we're seeing that in the Greensboro area now, and that's after having an office less than a year.
I see an opportunity for us as a company and what I think we can bring to the table for owners, engineers, and our employees, that we can bring a good career, we can bring a great company, and we could do quality work and set people up to have a great life that they might otherwise not have had. And I think there's a lot of employers out there who do what we do. I'm just not sure there's a lot of employers out there that look at it from, we want to invest through the people and that's how we get there.
There's so much willingness, actually so much desire on the part of the older people to pour into the younger people. You know, their minds aren't reservoirs, they're rivers, and they're pouring into the other ones. And that's the piece where I see our people grow, and they grow the company and really help a lot of people get projects done well.
Oh, doesn't feel like 30 years.
30 years, holy shit. Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's been 30 years. It doesn't feel like I went down there 12 years ago either. It feels just a few years ago.
It's staggering to me. You know, that means you're really established at this stage of the game. You're not just a company who's coming in for the first time. I think it shows a testament to the company, because through that 30 years, there's weathering of storms in 30 years. It's not all good through that period of time. And I know for a fact there were some times there that it was very challenging I'm sure for the leadership here to wonder, is this the right place to be?
Sometimes it's been a Scooby-Doo roller coaster, and sometimes it's been a rebel yell. But with Tim getting it started, and then passing the torch to Pat Dubay, and then passing it to Doug Morrison, and now on to Justin. I mean, there's just been a lot of people that have had to step up pre-Herb Sargent and post-Herb Sargent to keep the roller coaster on the tracks. And so, yeah, I guess you have to think about it in context. It's been great, but it's not so much how you traverse the successes, it's how you survive the trials and tribulations.
It just tells a story of things coming full circle. Life is very small, and the person you meet today, you're going to see 20 years from now. Just what capacity that is, you don't know. But the amount of people from Maine that migrated down there to help with that project, you know, Sean Milligan, Chris Dorr, a lot of these long-time, great, solid employees that helped get the foundation started down there. People from Maine have gone down there over the time. We've now had people from Virginia actually moving to Maine. We have people around here that when the tough gets going, they get tough, and I appreciate seeing that. So for me, the tenacity of going to the Mid-Atlantic, not being afraid to do that. We then made our way to Greensboro by getting asked by an engineer to come down and bid a job. My question always is, where's the next spot we need to go to help someone out? Where's that tough job that's going to go get us established? And that's what I'm looking for.